They are off the A list, they're off the B list. I don't even think they make the C list anymore. So
one of the executives came out and said they quite literally have no talent, but worse than that, they don't want to work. Never, ever. Because they don't really know how to make money, right? Their entire brand is talking about their own victimhood. They want them to continue to trash the royal family.
Oh, shut up.
No, I refuse. I'm sick of it.
No, look, Maureen.
I can't.
Look at this.
I can't.
Like, guys, you don't got to do this. Please, I'm begging you to stop.
Meghan, I'm begging you to stop now.
What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are?
No, I don't want to cook again, Meghan. My God, take a break.
Want respect? Try shutting up.
Venice glittered like a billionaire snow globe on the 27th of June, 2025, stuffed with mega yacht royalty. Kim Kardashian bantered with Leonardo DiCaprio, Oprah air-kissed Bill Gates. Tom Brady waved from a teak taxi. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sánchez staged the ultimate status ballet inside San Giorgio Maggiore, where guests literally crossed water to prove they belonged. 200 invitations shimmered. Yet two legendary names, Harry and Meghan, never appeared. For Meghan, whose brand lives on spotless optics, the omission landed like an unexpected blackout, impossible to spin away. No whispered explanation came, only the echo of water lapping against marble church walls that. Back in Montecito, insiders say Meghan wore trenches in Persian rugs pacing endless loops, doom-scrolling reels of couture gowns leaving vapor trails across Venetian night sky. Each swipe reminded her that status expires when buzz evaporates. She replayed charity brunch memories with Sánchez, certain one friendly text would guarantee passage. In reality, the boat departed without her, proving relevance cannot be manifested by manifesting alone.
You see, you really see now she's out of things, and it's her own fault because she's taking it too far, and people can see through her.
She wasn't mourning champagne. She feared irrelevance. The wedding functioned like Wall Street, announcing quarterly earnings for America's aristocracy. Her personal stock had plunged into speculative territory. Investors, allies, even fans felt the chill immediately too. Scroll back to January 2020, when the Sussexes detonated tradition with one Instagram post and swapped Palace marble for Californian sunshine. Freedom was the pitch. Venture cash poured in like champagne. Spotify waved $20 million for archetypes. Netflix offered nine-figure dreams. Oprah readied television's coziest confessional. Advisors plotted a triple crown conquest: audio domination, prestige documentaries, corporate boardrooms. The private mantra crackled. I don't need the palace. I am the palace. For a season, the world cheered, stylists sprinted, Architectural Digest photographed designer chicken coops, and algorithms rang the opening bell on Meghan's promised empire. Success felt predestined, risk effectively invisible. Metrics quickly shattered the fairy tale. Archetypes debuted hot with Serena Williams, then slid down charts faster than sunset. By mid-2023, Spotify quietly severed ties, citing productivity benchmarks unmet, converting $20 million into bittersweet trivia. Netflix dealt equal heartbreak. Heart of Invictus never cracked top 10 lists, disappearing after one sleepy weekend. Internal dashboards whispered merely 300,000 full views, a raindrop beside Bridgerton monsoons. Polo followed, labeled dull indulgence. Audience scores in low 40s. Two flops and one cancellation painted Hollywood's simplest equation. Cold streak plus costly contracts equals credibility collapse. Executives archived their enthusiasm and eyed safer bets instead.
they are off the A list, they're off the B list. I don't even think they make the C list anymore. So
Hollywood's avoidance wasn't only about audience numbers, it was about trust. After Meghan and Harry aired royal grievances in cinematic 4K, boardrooms worried. If palace secrets spilled so easily, who might be exposed next? Billionaires adore headlines they control, despise variables they can't. Safest strategy became distance, and Venice illustrated distance wearing couture. Invite omission therefore felt calculated, not careless. The elite performed a silent audit, deciding unpredictable storytellers jeopardized stable brands. Meghan's reputation for narrative control suddenly resembled narrative volatility, the one trait reputation managers blacklist before a single champagne cork pops. Publicists whispered cautionary tales during breakfast meetings. Harry wrestled a quieter but deeper crisis. Palace life once supplied scripted purpose. California boardrooms now demanded elevator pitches. On Zoom, he looped the same Invictus talking points, seeming lost without courtiers' cue cards. Even Polo, his sanctuary, turned awkward when teammates joked they skipped his documentary documentary. Army mates remain loyal but scattered across time zones. Windsor relatives maintain cordial distance. The Hollywood crowd, initially charmed by novelty, discovered he was simply an earnest dad juggling Netflix delays. Relatability wins sympathy, yet sympathy never secures coveted seats beside mega yacht cocktail rails.
If you think about it, Meghan got everything she wanted. She got the husband, she got the children, she got the HRH, she got everything that allowed her to rise up and to have that global recognition that we know how badly she wanted that.
Meghan ruined Harry. Now that the once carefree, fun-loving prince has turned into a miserable moaner, lashing out from the depths of his paranoia at a world he thinks is conspiring against him.
He sensed orbit shift. Gravity suddenly felt optional there. Meghan refused paralysis. Within hours, she converted fury into bullet point action plans. Advisors were rotated out, brand architects summoned, and a mandate issued. Embrace projects that bypass gatekeepers entirely. Archewell funding redirected toward literacy hubs in South Central LA and mental health clinics for veterans, alliances resilient to gossip storms. She also pitched a scripted series dramatizing her pre-royal grind, wanting to author her own myth instead of starring in tabloids. Each idea underscores a pivot from dependency on elite acceptance to ownership of distribution channels she can't be excluded from again. Blueprints filled whiteboards. Scented candles burned like overtime hours there. But reinvention carries fresh perils. Lemonada Media delayed her planned podcast until 2026, officially for scheduling, unofficially to dodge saturation. Netflix's With Love, Meghan unspooled this spring to reviews, calling it gauzy Instagram with a budget, proving streaming giants won't bankroll endless vanity tours. Every misfire shrinks negotiating leverage, making the next pitch heavier with existential weight. Hollywood tolerates eccentricity when numbers roar. Silence exposes weaknesses. She needs a breakout hit, not polite attention, to yank her relevance graph upward before another gala drafts place cards without her surname again. Audiences, too, have finite patience for promise without delivery. Metrics show clearly.
Poor old Meghan, in terms of this lavish wedding in Venice. Would love to be there myself, by the way. I didn't make the guest list either. But Meghan will be dying a bit inside over this, no doubt about it.
Harry's solution may lie beyond cameras altogether. He dreams of scaling Invictus Games into a global, adaptive sports ecosystem, letting veterans own the spotlight while he fades behind logistics. Such humility could restore credibility lost through overexposure. Yet donors crave fresh excitement, and corporate partners weigh ROI numerically. He must demonstrate measurable impact, not sentimental speeches, to rebuild confidence that projects won't stall. Re-anchoring identity around service instead of streaming might calm his internal turbulence and convince skeptics he's more than royalty in search of relevance. Trusted advisors urge a data dashboard, transparent budgets, and athlete-led storytelling to reassure potential sponsors consistently. Venice's Basilica now lives in Sussex lore as a jewel-boxed mirror reflecting hard truths. America's fame economy runs violently present tense. Titles thrill tabloids, but boardrooms worship traction. Influence functions like a subscription. Miss renewal, lose access. The Bezos Sánchez guest list showed Meghan and Harry classified as expired credentials, not disgraced, just unnecessary. The reflection was unforgiving, yet potentially catalytic, because acknowledgement of decline precedes every successful reinvention story. Hollywood loves to bankroll when odds spike high enough. Their absence rippled through conversation over Bellinis, reminding attendees that relevance can vanish quicker than sunlight on Venetian water after dusk for any outsider. Determined, Meghan sketches a comeback requiring thunder, not drizzle. She courts Ava DuVernay to co-create a limited series about erased female journalists, hoping prestige politics meets streaming appetite. Simultaneously, ghostwriters sculpt a brutally candid memoir, balancing vulnerability with cinematic pacing. She knows ignoring criticism never works. Overshadowing it with excellence sometimes does. Every decision now passes a single-line filter. Will this force gatekeepers to notice? Budget, casting, and release timing are plotted like chess, because the next checkmate must echo across influencer feeds, award ballots, and philanthropic gala podiums. Failure would finalize exile. Success could rewrite the social hierarchy overnight. Harry's desired arc must dovetail without overlap. He explores launching a veteran-centric esports league, modernizing Invictus visibility, and attracting tech sponsors hungry for philanthropic branding. The concept harnesses his military credibility while insulating him from accusations of profiteering. Working parallel rather than tandem may let each spouse succeed without constant joint scrutiny. If both ventures surge simultaneously, the power couple narrative revives organically. No podcast confessions required. However, independence means accountability.
I nearly entered rehab yesterday. That is the biggest pile of crap I've ever seen on television in my life.
Harry can't rely on Meghan's charisma to buffer missteps. Investors will expect measurable KPIs, transparent governance, and disciplined PR cycles. Achieving those benchmarks demands mentors beyond the usual friendly circle. Meanwhile, algorithms reveal Momentum's brutal math. Hashtags once spiking during every Sussex appearance now plateau within hours. YouTube channels that formerly dissected their sound bites pivot toward fresher controversies. Fashion houses allocate sampling budgets to Gen Z darlings, not 30-something duchesses. Data dashboards show fan engagement half-life shrinking from weeks to days. These figures terrify publicists, yet they also map the battlefield precisely. Win-back scroll time and search queries, and gala invites follow. Ignored metrics mutate into quicksand, embrace them, and they become stepping stones toward renewed dominance. Their strategists rehearse live dashboards in meetings, tracking sentiment like heart monitors relentlessly daily.
A taste of entitlement, greed, avarice and deception.
Everything hinges on the next 9 months. Award season calendars freeze in October, meaning pilots and philanthropic showcases must impress by late summer. Funding conversations escalate now. Hesitation signals weakness to rivals, eyeing the same grant pools. The couple must choose definitive identities. Producer versus princess, activist versus celebrity. Hollywood tolerates ambiguity only when numbers explode. A decisive, cohesive narrative, delivered consistently, could spin Venice from humiliation into prologue. Stalling will leave them cemented as cautionary tales studied in crisis management seminars worldwide. Even supportive outlets warn privately that attention budgets are finite, and pity rarely translates into sustainable engagement metrics anyway. Venice's snub will linger like salt, yet salt also preserves. If Meghan forges a cultural thunderclap and Harry anchors tangible service, yesterday's exclusion becomes tomorrow's origin myth. The cameras won't wait, algorithms won't pause, and resentment won't cash any check. Results will. In this kingdom of perpetual refresh, relevance is the only crown that matters. Hammered anew each dawn. Deliver undeniable wins, and the next yachtside toast may feature reclaimed seats engraved with their initials. Fail, and water taxis will glide past again, leaving the once unstoppable couple waving from the dock. Tourist cameras clicking indifferently as gondoliers sing indifferent ancient melodies.